Analysis of the latest news, trends,
Exactly, and then you see these people, they're so agile, they can do
politics.
We have to go back to that regional system. That is the foundation of this country, for God's sake.
Entertainment, fashion, culinary skills,
So first I'm going to be pouring the oil inside because
religious and cultural events amongst others on Daybreak Africa. For a rich mix of analysis on current issues, tune in daily from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on channel 480 and 124 on Startimes. Yes, there is news on your device, but hearing an analyst's perspective is the icing on the cake that Daybreak Africa provides. Start your day with prompt analysis of the latest news, trends,
Exactly, and then you see these people, they're so agile, they can do
politics,
We have to go back to that regional system. That is the foundation of this country, for God's sake.
entertainment, fashion, culinary skills,
So first I'm going to be pouring the oil inside because
religious and cultural events amongst others on Daybreak Africa. For a rich mix of analysis on current issues, tune in daily from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on channel 480 and 124 on Startimes. Yes, there is news on your device, but hearing an analyst's perspective is the icing on the cake that Daybreak Africa provides. Start your day with prompt analysis of the latest news, trends,
Exactly, and then you see these people, they're so agile, they can do
politics,
We have to go back to that regional system. That is the foundation of this country, for God's sake.
entertainment, fashion, culinary skills,
So first I'm going to be pouring the oil inside because
religious and cultural events amongst others on Daybreak Africa. For a rich mix of analysis on current issues, tune in daily from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on channel 480 and 124 on Startimes. Yes, there is news on your device, but hearing an analyst's perspective is the icing on the cake that Daybreak Africa provides. Start your day with prompt analysis of the latest news, trends,
Exactly, and then you see these people, they're so agile, they can do
politics,
We have to go back to that regional system. That is the foundation of this country, for God's sake.
entertainment, fashion, culinary skills,
So first I'm going to be pouring the oil inside because
religious and cultural
Hello there, thank you so much for being part of Joy Asonye Live here on KAFTAN television. It's good to know you are constantly keeping a date with us here to keep you abreast with what's going on, especially politically. And today we'll be focusing on the just recently announced 8-point agenda of President Bola Tinubu. It cuts across several aspects. It talks about food security, ending poverty, economic growth, job creation, among others. Now, Nigerians are asking, this president seems to just be talking about so many things. What's going on with the implementation? Since the removal of fuel subsidy, it seems like that cushioning effect promised Nigerians has just been lip service. Is that the case? Well, we have in the studio right here with us Dr. Apostle Abraham Ezaza. He's an APC chieftain and the coordinator, national coordinator of the Tinubu Presidential Support Organization. That's the PSO Nigeria. Let me say that again. TSPSO Nigeria. Thank you so much for being part of the program.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
It's wonderful to have you, but we'll go for a very short break right now and return to discuss in depthly as to the president's many plans and implementation. Welcome back from that break. Like I said earlier, we have Dr. Apostle Abraham Ezaza. He's the APC chieftain and the national coordinator, Tinubu Presidential Support Organization, TSPSO. Thank you again for coming. Since the removal of fuel subsidy, the end of that fuel subsidy regime that a lot of Nigerians had applauded, seems like the cushioning effect that was promised Nigerians is not coming. And you cannot, looking around, you see that Nigerians are groaning under the economic challenges. What would you say? Do you think the president has good intentions, or what's keeping this cushioning effect?
Good evening, gentlemen and lady. I want to believe that the president has a very good intention. If he doesn't have a good intention at his age, he wouldn't even bother to become a president. For somebody of his age with all his charisma and riches and wealth, one of the good things everybody is struggling to attain in life is to be successful and financially buoyant and stable. Tinubu has that. Why will he bother himself to want to become the president of Nigeria of 200 and plus million people? He chose to become a president because he knows the pains of the people. And he also knew that so many people are not doing it right. And he is a guru in political administration. So we want to believe that Tinubu is a people-oriented person, and because of that, he's willing, ready, and able to deliver. Let's watch. Well,
a lot of people will say maybe willing for a bragging right. I have been president of Nigeria. Maybe that could be the motivation. But when you say ready, since his administration, it seems like we've heard about the many policies. I remember recently he declared a food a state of emergency on food insecurity and reeled out so many things he's to do. But here we are.
Rome was not built in a day.
It wasn't, but Nigerians are suffering.
Nigerians are suffering, not caused by Tinubu. We must understand that a rotten situation that needed a remediation or a treatment must take some quality period of time. One of the reasons Nigerians are in a hurry is because they feel Tinubu is a ready-made man. And that is why they are in a hurry. Thank God that Tinubu is not a mediocre. Thank God that Tinubu is a mature personality. Thank God that Tinubu has done it before in Lagos. And because he has done it before in Lagos, those who are witness to it knows that Tinubu knows what to do. And assembling the right people to work with you is not an easy thing. Knowing fully well that APC as a party is also a new party. The rottenness of the situation in the country is not a thing of just today and yesterday. It has been a very long case of decay. Now, Tinubu coming in is like an intervention. He just wanted to intervene. And to the best of his ability, he will deliver. Why are we confident that he will deliver? He has done it before. And now that he has promised, that he's going to try his best. What we needed to do is to pray for him and to ensure that whoever he has given any of these responsibilities, because a tree cannot form a forest. You agree with me? At any point in time when you become a leader, if you are able to assemble the right kind of people and you give them the free hand to deliver under your strict supervision, success may be attained. But one of the things I came to discover with human beings is that people want to do it their way.
Could it be because you people, you who supported him with your organizations and campaigns, you who went to nooks and crannies,
to the nooks and crannies,
could it be that people like you had assured us that he was the Messiah that was coming to salvage the problems Nigerians have, and he would do it on premium time? He
couldn't have been the Messiah. I don't believe in that. I'm a man of God and a child of God, and I know what Messiah means. Give Messiah to Jesus Christ alone.
Right. But
Tinubu is just an intervener. If you give me time to talk about the position of an intervener, he's somebody who comes to mediate, just to try to see if I can assist. It's like somebody who has a case with the police and you want to help him, to bail him, then suddenly you become the criminal. It's not possible. Tinubu is just a figurehead, a human being, who also have passionate appeal for the Nigerian masses. And he has all the wherewithal to deliver. And that was why he felt the best person to intervene in this material time is him. Why? He has a wife from the Niger Delta. He has a very political clout that spread across the 6 regions of Nigeria. Talking about finance, he has made money and he can use the money. I don't want to tell you something. What I want to tell Nigerians is that give Tinubu a little time more. Because the speed at which people want things to change, if we run at that speed, we will crash. Economy of Nigeria is a very big one, a very large one, interdependently with other interconnectivities. Across board, oil is in Nigeria, crude oil is Nigeria, lithium is in Nigeria. Everything that the world is looking for is in Nigeria. And that makes a lot of people have interest in the Nigeria affair. Is it only Nigeria that did election in that period? No. Why is Nigeria the focus of the world? Why?
The largest black nation in the world.
The largest black nation. And for a largest black nation, you want a single head, one Yoruba man from the southwest of Nigeria to just come in and change the landscape.
But that's what you people told us.
No, if anybody says that, I used to read my Bible and he said the marketer will say everything is good, but the buyer will say it's not good, even when you know it's good. So what we want to say is that everything about the country today has been decayed, from the economy to the politics to every aspect. Now, for somebody to just step in just 29th of May, and by July, August, you want a miracle to happen, he is not Jesus Christ. What we believe is that we went to the campaign field to tell people, let's vote Tinubu. Based on his age and his experience and his interconnectivity, he may be able to ameliorate, to try to help to salvage the situation. We did not say Tinubu is going to finalize the problem of Nigeria in one day. It's not true. Whoever is telling you that is a lie. He is a human being. And as a human being, he is subject to some vulnerable situations. What about the people he gives responsibility if they don't deliver? Why is he on top of all of them today, 45 of them? He said, if you don't deliver, they will not see you, they will see me.
Because among other support group, the TSPSO had told us that Tinubu is the Jagaban who would ensure that should he have a cabinet and the person does not deliver, he will hire and fire. But let's talk about the fact that, do you see policy direction of the government? Because it seems like he's trying and failing. He tried the 8,000 naira palliatives that Nigerians had to say no to, and then it's like he's testing waters. But that's not what Nigeria needs.
No, if Nigerians say no and he listens to them, what do you Christian the government?
But it also begs the question: does he even know what he's doing?
He knows what he's doing. If that was what was obtainable as at the time he entered the seat, and he knew that there was a palliative arrangement. And we also have what we call a roster of the poor masses of Nigeria, which was clandestinely created.
Clandestinely? Some of us actually knew when it was being created.
And nobody spoke. Do you know that you can be in this country for 10 years and they are sharing money and it will not get to your family? And meanwhile, some people in your family are also poor. Now, the poor of the poor does not really mean the poor of the poor. If I go back to Nigeria and begin to talk about what the poor of the poor means, is your family closeness to who is who. That is what you understand with poor and the poor. And when Tinubu came to realize that that is not averagely correct, he told them, stop it. And that is why he created the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. And that is why he created so many ministries that are going to be called interventional ministries. The packages that Tinubu has put in place, if every government have done that in the time past, we will have passed this stage.
Like what packages?
Like the packages of palliatives, like the packages of poor people's maintenance. They are going to be reaching out to poor people. Better Edu, the Minister of
Poverty
alleviation.
And humanitarian.
Can you imagine creating a Ministry for Poverty alleviation? Was there anything like that before? Now that means he is people friendly. And my thinking is that as far as Tinubu is concerned, if all the people he appointed into different key heads are able to deliver on their own objectives and statutory functionalities,
right,
they should be able to reach out. I have always said to people that it takes a man who has a heart of gold to help Nigerians. And like I used to say, people, Tinubu has made money, has made name, and has built people. One of the reasons somebody like me have to follow him all the way from the Niger Delta. I'm an Isoko man from Delta State. My mother is from Nasarawa State. So I'm a full Nigerian. I will never allow Nigeria to divide. And I supported Tinubu because I saw that he has empowered people across the sidelines. He doesn't believe in this ethnicity, neither religiosity. He believes that the peace and unity of Nigeria and the stability is the main thing. And if anybody has such agenda, I think he will make a good leader.
Okay, so let's talk about the fact that in his composition of the ministers, I know some people, even within the APC, were unhappy. You are an APC chieftain, so you tell us, do you think that the hands that were picked are indeed those that will help him with his goal, the blueprints that he promised Nigerians?
He couldn't have been a fool. To be a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is a very megacious, if I am permitted to say that. It's a very big issue. You know, when they put this law that in 60 days you should be able to form your cabinet, people thought 60 days is much of a time. But it's not easy. If you have 10,000 naira and you are thinking of which of your friends you want to give that 10,000, you will be surprised that you may not see any.
To pick.
Who among them will you pick? And that was the case. Between me and you, there is none of them that came on board just based on Tinubu alone, thinking about him.
Of course.
There are people that have given some report. There are people that have given some indices of what they can do, how they know the person, the capacity and the capability of the person. So to me, I feel that so long all of us cannot be in the minister position at once, like I used to tell somebody challenged me today. He said, as powerful, as popular as you are not listed. I said, there are even more popular people than me that are not listed. But one good thing I know is that the few that have been so selected, out of 200 million Nigerians, to select 45 people took more than 60 days. That should let you know that it's not an easy thing. The few that were selected, people are even having complaints on them.
I wanted to talk about that. The
Yeah.
complaints that
So-
even within the APC, that
even
they feel
with-
like much was not done in
Yeah,
picking
because
them.
there is no way you are going to satisfy everybody. And if you try to do that, you even spoil the broth more. You know, the Englishman said, too many cook. What happened? Spoils the broth. Why? Because so many people brought their own idea and brought their own person. It now rested upon the head that wears the crown. It's on easy lies the head that wears the crown. Tinubu will now look, which one I go take, which one I not go take. Okay, in order for us to beat the time, let us, you remember he has to send some lists. He couldn't even send the whole 48. Even in the best selected 48, there are some powerful figures we know in this country that have to also fall by the wayside. Why? Because there are criterions, there are standards, there are things to consider before somebody is made. Now, if for any reason he has come up with 45 and people are not happy, what about if it were 100? What about if it were 50? So what I want to say, I give kudos to Tinubu for meeting up at least within that 60 days. Then there are so many other positions that are going to be filled up.
However, those positions, a lot of people feel is too demeaning for
That
their
is
capacity.
their cup of tea. That is their cup of
But
tea.
would this affect, because we are seeing this, hearing rather discordant tones within the APC? Do you think it will affect?
It is a normal thing, my dear.
But would it affect the popularity that APC already enjoys?
The few that are there, they are tested and some of them are trusted. I give that credit to Tinubu because it is not easy to even select the best of hands. When he tried it in Lagos, when he was a governor, there were many people that he selected that himself mustn't have known so much, but they delivered. It is all about the head, if you'll agree with me. It is all about the head. If the head is correct, the part of the body will begin to amend themselves. So if you have a Tinubu at the top who knows what he's doing, I don't want to speak something about some people who were dead and they were there. I don't want to speak about some people who didn't know what was actually happening in Sokoto, in Jigawa, in Calabar. To be a president
are the people you are going to speak about part of the APC? Because you are mentioning something that rings a bell to Nigerians. I'm sure my viewers are listening. Something about the APC. It seems like, well, has the APC government actually delivered on their mandates to Nigerians?
If they didn't deliver, they wouldn't have won election.
That's another that's another pot of
if they didn't deliver, they
fish.
wouldn't have win election.
That's another kettle of fish I don't want to go into. But let's talk about the strength of the president to hire and fire. Within the last administration, the APC administration, we did not see much of firing. We just saw something Nigerians felt was ineptitude that was continued.
That is past.
It is past, but that's the precedent that the APC government has set.
What we should concentrate our effort and energy upon right now is who is on the driver's seat. How capable is he? You know, before the elections and during the campaigns, they said Tinubu is sick, Tinubu cannot do anything, Tinubu is that. What is happening now? They said Tinubu cannot speak good English. There are too many things that were working against Tinubu, but because he that the Lord has chosen, no man can stand against it. Between me and you, when Tinubu mounted the saddle of leadership of the country, the Nigerian vehicle stabilized.
It did?
Yeah.
It seems like there's more poverty than we've seen in a while.
People who are thinking that the situation will have just jump-started into flamboyancy, they are the ones who are now shortchanged, because you can see the fuel matter. You can see everybody now know how to manage his resources. We are living beyond our means.
But it's affecting productivity.
It's
The economists will tell you that it's affecting.
Market, everything is there. I am telling you, go to the markets.
But we are also seeing businesses shut down because they can no longer...
Businesses that are shut down were businesses that were working and depending on corruption for their sustainability.
Not necessarily.
Very well.
Not necessarily.
I can quote the ones I know.
Please, I would like to hear that. I'm
okay.
a journalist. I'm
now,
one that likes to... I like to get to the bottom of issues.
Did you see Shema petrol station closed down?
Okay, you want to mention names? I would let it go there.
Anyway, the stations that shut down, if they were not financially buoyant and capable enough to sustain themselves, and they were depending on fraud, you think we will still survive when the valve is locked? Well,
the reason I said you should hold on that is because the ethics of my profession will not let me mention names.
Funny questions. No, I wanted to tell you, if a leakage is sustaining you and the leakage is blocked, will that business still continue to survive?
But I was not talking about that. I'm talking about the MSME statistics that has affected.
Businesses that start with less than 50,000 naira.
Yes, that's what drives the economy. 70% of our GDP is from those businesses. If that drives the economy,
I want to tell you, I know there is somebody who called me on this program while I was seated here. She runs a Bekere business.
I don't know what that means.
Bekere is fried plantain.
Right.
She makes more money now.
She makes more money now?
Yes.
Because Tinubu came in.
Because Tinubu came in and things are now done correctly. No fraud. When you survive by fraud, when the source of fraud is denied you, your business must die.
And Tinubu has proven that he's fighting corruption. He's fighting fraud.
He is fighting corruption, and corruption is fighting him back. And you know, corruption is a dragon, a hydra-headed dragon, whereby when you block here, you will look for here. Are you getting me? Before now, if you cross the border to Cameroon, you will see a lot of fuel. Where is it? So that business should not die.
That's not the business I was referring to.
No, you want to. I can be here talking of akara and granite.
Yes,
now.
Of course. Those are
I
the
bought
businesses.
granite on the street just now. Why did he not die?
You are trying to be.
No, I want to tell you that the businesses that you thought are the sustaining base of this nation, most of them were corrupt. Corruptly funded.
I'm actually talking about.
Talk about something. Mention it.
Proper businesses.
What is it? Saloon?
Saloons, for instance.
You don't dress your hair anymore?
Well, these days you
used to dress flamboyantly beyond your salary.
And so I should.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
So productivity should suffer. Well,
it's not about productivity. Productivity is smooth running. I am telling you the gospel truth. If anybody is depending on fraud, okay, for instance, somebody is staying in a duplex and his salary is 300,000. And Tinubu blocked the source of making the money to pay 1.3, 2.5 million. And you still want him to stay in duplex. For what?
Wow.
Yeah.
If this is how
you can't live above your means. That is what I stand here to say.
Okay. Having said that, we still have so much to discuss, and we're going for a very short break right now. We still have Dr. Apostle Abraham Ezaza. Ezaza, I got that right. He's an APC chieftain. He's been defending the APC policies. We have so much to discuss, so stay with us. This is still Joy Asonye Live. We'll be right back.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back from that short break. This is still Joy Asonye Live, and we've been discussing Tinubu's 8-point agenda, a conversation would go in depth into right now. The agenda includes food security, that's something the president had earlier mentioned, ending poverty, economic growth and job creation, access to capital, improving security, improving the playing field on which people and particularly companies operate, rule of law, and fighting corruption. That is the 8 priorities that the president unveiled to his new cabinet recently. Well, Apostle Dr. Abraham Ezaza, well, he's still here with us, and we'll be talking about how the president, if you can have a staircase conversation with the president, what would be your take as to how he would achieve these noble, very noble 8 priorities? And first of all, are you satisfied? A lot of people started mentioning other sectors he probably should have mentioned in that. But these 8 that he mentioned, are you satisfied with them?
Very satisfied. If you have a president who have ascended into a position and you voted him into power, the first responsibility you owe him is confidence. And that is why the Englishman says vote of confidence. If I don't have vote of confidence on the president, why did I vote him there? And if I have voted him there and he's not trying to do the best he can, and he's starting so early, why should I use 1 month or 2 months or less than 1 month to judge the parameter of his success? And so I pass a vote of confidence on the capacity of the president himself, His Excellency, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Jagaban of Africa, the man of means. Listen to me. I want to let you know that if not be Tinubu, enough it be like Tinubu.
Really?
Very well. You know why? Because today, Tinubu has been able to meander his way among the very many obstacles and barriers to get to where he is. Now that he has gotten there, he has been able to list out 8-point agenda. You know why he has to be 8-point? Is because people want to hear many things, touching different things. Nigerian problem is just 1-point agenda.
Which is?
Good leadership. Quality leadership. Capable leadership. Nigeria have everything. I've traveled some few countries in my little years of sojourn on earth, and I've come to discover that it is not actually about the resources of the community, but the management of the resources. And so when we talk about the success of Tinubu's administration, it is purely going to be the responsibility of Tinubu to monitor the people he has put in the strategic positions. It's not about whether there is money or no money. You can have so much money and you'll still be a poor man.
True.
There are people who are very rich, but they are very useless in management of their resources. I also want to let you know that Tinubu, who has been able to manage his resources, many people talk about his background. And sometimes when I discuss with people, I tell them, if Tinubu of no background could become a man with means, tight, tall, ranking above the best upon the leadership of the nation. Just some few days ago, I don't know, a visitor from America came to invite Tinubu alone as president from Africa on the side of the hunger that is going to be taking place in September. Why is it thick? Why do you think so? Do you know that president of the World Bank has visited Nigeria for the few days that Tinubu entered? Do you know that Gogo, owner, was in Nigeria? Do you know the type of quality businesses that are coming to Nigeria? I'm a father of 9. I make bold to announce it. I mean, 6 of them are graduates.
You have a Hydra-headed title.
Yes.
So it's only right that
so as far as I'm trying to tell you, as a father of 9, 6 of them are already graduates. Even if they are employed or they are not employed, I tell them, work hard. My father did not send me to school. I sent myself to school. But they are happy. They are lucky. I sent them to school. I'm still alive. What I'm trying to tell you is Tinubu is going to deliver. But the issue right here now is that the people he has trusted with responsibilities should, with all sincerity of purpose and commitment and dedication to their country, deliver. Because if they deliver, Tinubu has delivered. And if they deliver and Tinubu deliver, APC have delivered. And if APC delivered, Nigeria is at peace. What I want to let people know is that Tinubu is not a magician that will do everything within just the ambit of these little hours. We have 4 years running, and we are going to be there for 8 years. Okay, let's
just talk about his plans for security. It's something that a lot of Nigerians have had to
I am not in government. I am just a side member of the party.
Yes, however, I'm sure.
But I know that the party has agenda for good security network. And I also know that the first thing he did, even before installing the Executive Council body, which is the Board of Ministers, he had already settled the issue of security. And if you look at their capacity and their age brackets, they are very young, dynamic people. And he was so kind to the whole 6 geopolitical zones that he selected people. Let me shock you. Do you know that it's very difficult to fight security in Nigeria? Because there are vested interests on different dimensions for different purposes.
That's the peculiarity I want us to discuss.
Are you getting me now? So when he picked his people, I so believe that they are people of credible capacity. They have capacity. And they also know they were in Nigeria when Nigeria was boiling with Boko Haram, ISWAP, and the rest of them. So to me, the people that has been given this sole responsibility of securing Nigeria, I give kudos to our new NSA, Nuhu Ribadu. It's my friend, my brother. I love him. He is very cool-headed and calm, calculated.
Is that who we need for NSA?
Whether you don't like him,
no, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying
that is the chosen person for the hour.
Right.
Yeah.
But is that the kind
he has capacity?
Is that the kind of demeanor or the temperament we need to tackle the security issues?
Can I tell you, I don't want to give it to the president as if he is the best, he's faultless or whatever. But whoever he has succeeded in putting in any strategic position, I want you to give it to him. And let the people he has appointed be the one to defend their own self by their delivery capabilities. Because Tinubu is a human being. He couldn't have known whether he has all the capacity. But they are not strangers. They are not. They know what Nigeria needs, and everybody is yearning for security, the peace of God in this country, so that this country can move forward. Once we have peace and we have good leadership, Nigeria will... Look, America will run. That is why they don't want us to exceed them.
They don't want us to exceed them. Yes. I don't know where you got the memo from.
I know it. I've been there, and I know the criminality in outside Nigeria compared to the one in Nigeria is nothing. In fact, we are running 0 point compared to what is happening in other developed world where you think it is peaceful there. Go to these countries and go there without having something you can do. You go wrong, come back.
Okay.
Let me tell you so.
But speaking about not having waiting you fit do, let's talk about job creation. It seems like that's another very important issue the president should look at.
He's interested.
But now if you have to suggest as to how they can champion this job creation to increase the employment rate of Nigeria, what would you say to the president?
It starts with statistics. It starts with statistics.
Are you talking about the contended 4.1% unemployment rate that Nigerians are?
That is human, that is international ratings that have nothing to do with the realities on ground. Are you getting me? If you look at our youths today, thank God we are on a very large scale talk now. The whole world is watching.
Right. How
many youths are even ready to work? I'm telling you the gospel truth. They are so self-centered and so committed to making quick money. And that is why when there are opportunities and they say government is looking for 50 people to fill a particular place, you find it very difficult to locate them. You don't know. Sometimes government cannot come to the house and begin to say, your pikin, bring and make it work. Look at the kind of hairstyle they are carrying. Church, they won't go. Prayer, they won't pray. But they are busy pressing.
Right.
And so that man who has been pressing, I thank God for somebody like
So what you're saying is morally, the young people are losing it.
There is moral decadence and people, even when you create the wealth, the job, for them to take it, they find it very difficult to become part of it because they are not interested. They have no patience anymore. They are on a fast lane. They want to make so much money. Tinubu has promised and he has created a particular department to handle the issue of job creation. I'm sure you are hearing of blue economy. It's a very new language to me, but thank God because I'm from the Niger Delta, I know that blue economy because the sea at a particular weather is blue. So I just copy it from there. Let me tell you something. It's not even the sons. There are sons of fishermen who will not want to be fishermen. There are sons of farmers who will not want to be farmers. No matter how lucrative you make farming to be, they will still tell you, I don't want to be a farmer. Well,
you figure out what they can do because the Nigerian youths, in spite of what you just said, have also made a lot of them who have made Nigeria very proud in several aspects.
So is it their father that carried them?
That is the problem. Maybe your generation just wants to force down their throat certain careers.
It's not true. When we say job creation, thank God for ICT, thank God for the electronic, thank God for so many communications. There are too many diversities today. And if you look at the crop of our ministers, I can clap for Tinubu that he has at least 50% youths on board. And is it not based on their discovery? Is it not based on their capabilities? Is it not based on what they have been able to deliver? It has nothing to do with age. You see, let me tell you something. If you do not use your spare time well, your good time self, you will be wasted. That is why I like Shell. In those days, I was in worry. When Shell want to employ you, they say, in the days that you were out of job, what did you use your spare time to do? That is a very great value that they will use to categorize you. There are people today who have degrees, who have not used their time of waiting to do anything tangible. Let's talk about let's talk about skills. What is skills? People graduated without skills before now. But if you graduate and you have a skill, in the days of your unemployment, what will you do, my people? You will be using the skill. I'm a professional printer. Ever before computer came, I was doing printing. And I can draw. I'm an artist. I'm talking drawing.
Right.
I can draw you right now. What am I trying to say? Everything you know how to do by way of skill can feed you.
Of course.
Yes. But if you want only white-collar job, if you want only your father to, like some of my children called me and said, Daddy, now you people are trying to be in government and you have to position. I said, no. Your gift will make room for you. The people you saw Tinubu select today, they are so gifted. And that is why
made room for them.
Yeah.
But would you say Nigeria has that kind of environment, that fertile environment to absorb talent?
We have it. I put it to you that we have it. If you
anybody who listens to you right now would believe that Nigeria does not have any problem.
We don't really have problem now. You don't see problem before. Go to countries that have problem. Wallahi, you will run away.
You are so optimistic.
I'm very confident that if all of us work in tandem with the president and flow in the direction of how he is leading the country with this young crop of men and women, firebrand. Oh, clap for Wike. Now, when Wike came in, a lot of people started feeling jittery. You know why? Because they were not standing right. A clear conscience fears no accusation. If Tinubu have suddenly come on board, and today he is trying his best, and you do not have a skeleton in your cupboard, like me, anytime I see VIO, I will be smiling, I will be singing. When I drive very close to them, because I know my papers are correct, and I know my tires are correct, and I know I'm wearing my seatbelt. Why will I want to dodge federal road safety? Why will I want to hide from VIO? When people begin to condemn things, check their cupboard. There is a skeleton.
Okay. Now let's move to the part where he said ending poverty, and we've seen the interventions he has tried to do. We spoke shortly earlier about the 8,000 naira he proposed that Nigerians had said no to.
Yeah.
And there's the conversation around cash palliatives as a way of ending poverty.
You cannot end poverty. No government can end poverty.
Completely, maybe.
I beg to differ.
Completely, maybe.
You cannot end poverty completely.
Of course.
Jesus said, as an apostle, please permit me to always
Go ahead,
speak from the
go
Bible.
ahead.
He said, poor people you shall always have. It is not possible to end poverty. The richest man still have poor people in his community. What I want to say is, palliatives is just a way of trying to alleviate, ameliorate, and help to at least buffer you a little. Between me and you, there are people you give 100,000 and they will see no more poverty. There is another person you give 100,000 and he will become poorer. It is all about the mindset.
True.
So when you look at what we are talking about here conditionally, based on what the president have in mind, he can only do the best he can to the best number of people
That he can. Right.
Because between me and you, when you send 5 billion naira to people to share, I am not in support of sharing money because people waste resources. I have come to discover that each time you give people who do not work hard money, they definitely must waste it. Because the first thing that comes into their mind is that thing they were looking for that they have not been able to get. It is never in the area of multiply this money. Money multiplication is a function of business-minded
persons, exactly.
Somebody who is used to wearing human hair of 70,000, 80,000.
It's more expensive than that.
Oh, now it's about, you just give him 50,000 saying a palliative. What will he do with it? It will not be enough to buy the hair. So she's not going to consider even doing anything with it because what did this one go do? I don't believe in cash transfer. I don't in my own life.
What do you believe in?
What I believe in is infrastructure. What I believe in is give them skill, train the people, let the people be trained. This is what to do, and make the incentive in that direction, so that if the person learns how to make shoe, mend shoe, open a shoe manufacturing company business for him or her. If she likes to sell provision, you see, people have to be asked, what do you want to do? It is not about giving people money. Giving people money does not empower people, and it cannot even remove poverty. Because the truth is, anybody who is in debt and you give him 100,000, the first thing that he wants to do is to pay his debt. True or false?
True, of course.
Yeah. So you are not telling me, if he pays the debt, does that translate into poverty alleviation or he has been empowered? No, you only help him to remove one problem and a bigger problem, because my father used to tell me, if you are so angry to pay all your debts, you will be very hungry at last. So your anger does not solve your problem. You just have to invest, pay some debts, meet some needs, and still go ahead waiting for tomorrow for a better opportunity.
Now, the president has, amongst the governors that he has,
the governors and the ministers.
Yes, he has people in other political parties who probably have their party ideology to deliver. Do you think that he has the tenacity to ensure that it cascades? The 5 billion you just mentioned, for instance, is an example. Do you think the governors would follow his tenets? Because Nigerians always look to the president. If anything goes wrong,
that is the president. That is the truth. He can't do much. The much he can do which the DSS I read in some blogs or some newspapers. They think it is the security forces are already on some of them, telling them, do well. I read somewhere in the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 17. It says, learn to do well. A lot of governors need to learn to do well. The people are hungry. The people are in a situation that the federal government, in their own good magnanimity, decided to say, okay, let's give you these funds. You think of what to do to empower your people. That is Mr. President's hands. I watched. He has finished that. Now it is not left for the governor at the state level to do the needful.
Right.
What are you supposed to do? Have a demography of the poor, the middle people, and know exactly what to do. As such, and I saw what a governor did, I don't want to mention. He just makes sure that all his elites in the various states of the country, he allocated money. And he said this money is to train the people. If you are from a particular state, from his own state, and you are in Abuja, he said go to the liaison office, register your interest there, tell them what you would like to do, let them empower you and guide you going forward.
Right.
So every governor have his own initiative and style. If you are in a farmer environment, you are supposed to just empower the people by giving them seedlings and also helping them with farm implements, whereby they can now begin to do the best they can. But giving cash, like I keep on saying here, giving cash does not solve this problem. The cash they give to them should be transformed into a better way, and that can help to a very large extent. What about the food items they also give to them? Why hoard it? Why hoard it? Now, Mr. President have come up to the open because one of the key points of the policy of the government is they want to be announcing what they are doing. Now, federal government said they have given rice, they have given bags of rice, they have given
grains,
cash,
right.
grains. And the state governors do not want the state people to know. Where are you taking it to? Outside this world? No, now. So, to me, Tinubu as a human being can only do what President Tinubu, I mean to say, can only do what he can do.
Exactly.
We as followers and citizens of this country should try to do the best we can to help him to succeed.
Now, what would you expect the citizens to do? We've seen several,
Prayers.
because as it is, Nigerians do no longer want to pray, they want to see action. But let's talk about the fact that there's a trust deficit for governance at the moment. Nigerians do not trust government. Yeah, it has nothing to do with Tinubu. I believe anybody who had emerged would still have had this trust deficit. How can we enliven Nigerians to say, like, be as optimistic as you are?
Oh my God. That is why radio and televisions are created. When they hear much from people like us who are talking, they should be able to begin to build confidence that if some people who are within the parameters of the government, you know, we are with the veranda.
I wouldn't know because you probably are buying fuel at a certain fuel station at maybe 180. Some of us are buying at over 600.
I can defeat you to that.
No, I'm not going there.
We have been buying fuel like as if we are thieves. Let me tell you something. Do you know how much is a bottle of Coke? Is it not 200 naira today? How much we bought it? Why are people not shouting about Coke? Leave that matter. Let's come back home.
Trust
what do
deficit,
you want
right.
Nigerians to do in order for them to start trusting the government? The reality is democracy dividends delivery. Are you getting me now? When the people begin to see government say we are going to build road and the road is built, when the people begin to see that NEPA is constant, light is constant, they should begin to trust. Are you getting me? It is actually the dividend of democracy that reaches down to the grassroots that brings trust. Maybe somebody very close to you that has no job suddenly got a palliative and he opened a chemist shop or opened a mechanic workshop, and he now open his mouth and give testimony. You know, Nigeria has a sabi chop clean mouth. They have received, but they don't want anybody to know
that they have received.
And that is why I say, don't give them money, give them initiative, give them skill. Because if at the end of the day, you come to a village, you take 50 people or 100 people, you send them on training, they came back, and all of them open shops. Do you know why the crisis in the Niger Delta suddenly mellowed down? It was that initiative of empowering our boys by sending them outside the country. Some became pilots. Right. When they came back, You are bringing gun to him to go to creek. He say, something is wrong with you. Why? Because suddenly they found a new pace, a new space, a new horizon. And that they travel outside the country, they become a little disoriented from refined.
So you do admit that?
Like me, yes, I was a militant. What are we talking?
That's a story we would explore the next time you come.
Invite me next time.
How a militant became an apostle and a
suddenly,
doctor.
And how will you now bring one juju, come and meet me, say, Ezaza, come and take this juju, and it will work for you.
It will not work again. You've been there, done that, and you are refined.
It's be transformed,
right?
Not conformed.
Well, Apostle Dr. Abraham Ezaza, it's so wonderful to have you. The next time you come, you need to tell us what's going on in the Niger Delta and the plans that I'm sure you have an agenda for the president.
Very well.
For the Niger Delta.
Peace in the Niger Delta.
Peace in Nigeria.
They should recognize that the fowl or the goose that lays the golden egg
must not be killed.
Should benefit.
I agree. I agree with you. And then we'll go to that conversation. But for today, this is the end of today's episode of Joy Asonye Live, the Tuesday edition. Again, I must thank you, Apostle Dr. Abraham Ezaza, APC Chieftain, National Coordinator of the Tinubu Presidential Support Organization. That's the TSPSO
National
Nigeria.
Campaign Support Organization.
Okay, your profile is too long, but thank you so much for being part of the program.
Can I just benefit of that? My friend that came with me, Bishop Cheren, is here. Please, can you just
Bishop, thank
Cheren,
you so
please,
much.
Please
unfortunately, it will have to be another time. Thank you so much.
Right.
And this is it. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Until next time. That will be tomorrow. My name is Joy Asonye.